Dun, 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 dun. Superman's back.
Woo!
And he brought his theme tune with him.
And Batman's as well, in a really confusing music
Melee.
yeah.
But thank you, Danny Elfman, because your score was really good and didn't include the Hans Zimmer bam, 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 bam. Which is not to say, which is not to say that Hans Zimmer can't create good music, because he can, because Dunkirk had a really good score and it's really.
It did,
good,
but there were fewer bombs.
Indeed, and so yeah. So
I like the music. It was good music.
Spoiler talk. So Superman came back from the dead.
Oh, it's Captain X and Rogue One. Sorry, we got too excited. And we got so excited we forgot to do our usual exit
thing.
Goodbye.
But we'll do that this time.
We'll do that this time.
So just leak spoilers. So first off, the biggest and perhaps most disappointing spoiler of all. Lex Luthor is in the second post-credit scene.
Oh.
And actually, we forgot to mention the post-credit scenes as well.
Well, that's kind of a spoiler.
That's true. Also,
but it's the first DC movies that have done it, and weirdly enough, Joss Whedon was involved with this one, and you're like, yeah, they should have been doing this the whole time. I don't care if they're accused of copying Marvel, because the thing is that how I heard it was put every time I leave a DC movie, I wait to the end credits every time, just in case. And my last thought as I leave, when that logo comes up, is, oh, that was lame.
Yeah. Oh.
That should not be your last thought after a movie. That's lame.
True. But I liked their as always, I liked their DC animated logo thing at the beginning. I always think that's cool.
That's a new thing they've brought in for Wonder Woman, was it?
They brought it in for Wonder Woman, but they also had it, I think, with Batman v Superman.
No, they didn't.
Oh, did they?
Because they didn't have it on
right. Yeah, that's right.
Well, no, I did think it was really funny because earlier this year we were watching, I can't remember which, I think it might have been Guardians 2, and all of a sudden they changed the logo into this 3D logo with all of the actors appearing live on the screen rather than just the comic books.
Yeah, with the footage behind them.
And then the next DCEU movie I saw, they'd done an animated version of it, and I was like, that's an interesting development, DC.
But they've clearly been planning it for ages, because these things take time.
know.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
I do. Well, then why didn't they start with it?
Because they didn't have the new logo ready, because they hadn't changed their comic book logo either. Okay.
I'm sorry, I find that spurious. I think they copied Marvel, but not, if you're going to copy anyone, you're going to copy the best, but...
Oh, yes. So, also,
post-credit scenes, so there's two.
Post-credit scenes. So one of them has Superman and the Flash, and they're about to have a race.
Yeah.
And it calls back to a previous joke that the Flash makes about brunch. And they're racing to the Pacific, and they zoom off, and it's just like a cover of a comic book, and it's just beautiful.
It was so good. I was like,
speaking of really awesome comic book moments, there's a moment near the end of the film where, because one of the things that Martha Kent's been going through in Justice League is that she's moved out of the farm, and she's leaving, and she's just going to live in Smallville in the town. Because of debts and things like that. She missed a few payments on the farm. And so Bruce just buys the bank and it
gives them their house back.
And it gives them their house back, and it has all the Justice League helping them move back in and stuff. And it's such a Justice League comic thing to do.
Just the way it's handled,
and the way
Clark
it's framed, and the way it's shot and everything. You're just like, I could be reading the panels of a comic book here.
It's just brilliant. So sweet because Clark is like, how did you sort it out with the bank? And just Bruce is like, I bought the bank. Yeah. And he just says it in such a nonchalant way, and then just Clark is like, oh my god, that's millions of dollars, and he's tapping on the shoulder like, it's fine, dude, I'll be fine, you can keep your house, I don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of one of the best things to like about the film, I think, is the
better characterizations.
Much better characterizations. I think this largely comes from the script by Chris Terrio and Joss Whedon, because Chris Terrier's...
two Frankenstein stories.
Well, no. Because
they are Frankenstein together. Come on.
Because you've got to remember that Chris Terrio did all the good stuff that was in Batman v Superman about Batman. All the good stuff that works in that movie is Chris Terrio. And all the nonsense that doesn't work, that's going against it, is David S. Goyer. Script, right?
I'm sorry, but
yes, it is.
Okay, can I just finish?
Yeah.
So the Chris Terrio stuff was spy realistic thriller. That ain't words I'm using to describe Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon is just popcorn, awesome dialogue, superhero nerdgasms. The two do not mesh well.
But I feel like they did mesh in this case, and I feel like
they were fine.
Works.
It was oh my god, compared to BVS.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
But BVS was a low mark. It's a very, very low mark.
But I'm just.
I love how we have completely swerved away talking about Lex. Like, we have both been like,
so anyway,
Lex
the second.
is there. Let's talk about something else.
Anyway, so the second.
It's very revealing.
So the second post-credit sequence is that they're in Arkham and this guard's going up to the side. He's like, "Come on out, Luther." Blah 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 blah. And he walks up and it's this old bald guy. And for a second, I was so happy because I thought, they've recast and it's Bryan Cranston. Thank God. There is a
That
God.
would be a gift. I wouldn't need anything for Christmas.
That would have been the greatest part of this soft reboot. And I even thought, even when he turned around and it wasn't Lex Luthor, and it clearly wasn't, I was just like, but if it had been Bryan Cranston, it had just been a joke. That would have been hilarious. But never mind.
Bryan Cranston would totally do
He
that
would have
as
done
well.
that. But anyway, never mind.
No, him as Brainiac.
So then you cut away, and Lex is on a yacht, and he's toning it down.
Still bold.
He has to be bald. He's Lex Luthor, and he's toning.
He wasn't in BVS until the end.
I don't care. And he's on the yacht, and then Deathstroke turns up. Not the one you know from Arrow, but the other one, played by Joe Manganiello.
Doing a really good impersonation of the guy from the show from Arrow.
Well, I mean, if you're going to look like Deathstroke, that's kind of how you look like
I
him.
thought it was the same actor, and I got really mad. I was like, so you're going to recast Green Arrow, but this guy, he gets through. And then you were like, no, it was a different actor. I was like, oh. Well, all right then. He looks the same. He just looks like the movie version of this guy, slightly younger and slightly buffer. That's all he is.
I don't think they're actually close to the same age. Anyway, yeah. So that was nice, and they're going to create a Legion of Doom, and Lex is nicely toned down. Thank God. So that's
I still hate him.
Yeah, of course.
I hate his suit. I hate his tie, and I hate his shirt.
What the hell was wrong with his suit?
He had yellow, like bright buttercup yellow, with polka dots. And a blue suit, like a bright.
So yeah. I
thought those two post-credit scenes summarised this movie. One thing that was awesome, this great little moment, and the rest is like we're still carrying a lot of weight with us from the last films.
But it's going to be okay because this course correction is working out, I think. So.
But it shouldn't take until the fourth movie to sort it out. The fifth. The fifth, that's even worse. Yeah. It shouldn't take 5 movies that cost them, goodness knows, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars each to make. It shouldn't, this is the most expensive learning curve ever. $1 million, you've had enough.
But it's not really, because they keep making loads of cash for them every time.
Man of Steel underperformed.
Yeah, but
BVS underperformed.
But no, BVS
Suicide Squad.
BVS didn't.
It didn't go over the billion as far as I'm aware.
It did.
Oh, okay.
It made like $1 billion plus.
Civil War did better.
Yeah, but not by much.
But by enough.
That's okay.
Anyway, we actually talk about the film. So the biggest thing that happens in the film is Superman comes back.
Yeah, and that's great.
Which everyone knew.
Yeah.
Everyone knew he was coming back.
And then they have a nice fight, and he totally takes them all on. And there's a brilliant bit where the Flash is running up trying to get behind him.
That was my favourite moment in the entire movie, where the Flash is like Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Aquaman are like holding Clark in place, and clearly the Flash is like, I'm going to sneak up behind him and knock him out. And like as he's going behind Bruce, you just see it's really menacing. You just see
it's like the Terminator or something.
Yeah, you just see Terminator right starting to follow me, and you just see like the Flash going, I'm going to die. Oh God, I'm gonna die. And then he just basically is dodging Superman for a couple of minutes. It's just brilliant. I really enjoyed that. And then they bring up the big guns,
which is
Lois. Why don't you just start with Lois?
Well, you'd like to hope that it won't. You won't need to. And also, it could have been dangerous. Like also, Lois might have been like, "This is really weird." But anyway, what else is good? Any scene like Wonder Woman being the mother hen of the Justice League,
I really love
is always
that.
Great, and is always great characterization.
They are just like leaning into the one positive thing that no one's mad about.
No, really.
Everyone loves Wonder Woman.
Yes, I know. But
everyone loves Wonder Woman.
But it's also such a classic portrayal of how Wonder Woman and the Justice League team dynamic works.
I know, but it's just I find it really funny that the only character who's not been kind of like yanked and pulled and pinched and photoshopped, storied is Wonder Woman.
And also presumably like the Flash, because the Flash, everyone was talking about when they did their set visits like a year and 2 years ago, how funny he was and how much he was like bringing in.
Yeah, but the Flash is always funny. He's always the funny Justice League member. That's just his thing. He's the light, funny one who, he's the nice guy. He's the every guy.
He is. What else? I really liked Cyborg, and I was surprised how much I liked Cyborg.
I'm hoping they do an extended cut and he's in it more, because I feel like his was probably the most interesting story, and it's the one that got cut the most.
But he has a couple of he has a few really great scenes
It's very
that
rushed.
I really enjoyed. Like I liked his opening scene where he
With his dad.
His opening scene with his dad was really great. And I loved his scene where him and Wonder Woman having the chat in the street. And he doesn't quite agree to join her or anything like that. But it's shot so well with like his gradual introduction and stuff. And then her convincing him to help out near the end to do what he has to do and how she knows it's scary, but that he should just embrace like the power within him and that sort of stuff. All that stuff really works well. And when he first when they go for their first like initial foray as a team, and he sees his dad's in trouble, and he's instantly like, right, we're going in.
Yeah.
There's none of this, and he just does it, and it's so good. Like Cyborg was great. I mean, the actor I think is meant to be. He's like a Broadway actor mainly.
This is his first major movie. I don't think he's been in any other movies.
But he's done theatre, and you can tell he's done theatre because he got some good presence.
It's very understated, and he's not given much dialogue, so it's a lot with his face, and he only has half his face.
Pretty well, yeah.
So, because he's got like this metal plate over his eye. I did think the CGI on him was a bit wonky.
At times,
in parts. Some of it was great, but some of it was a bit wonky.
But it was really good. And people have been saying, like, a lot of people say, oh, is Aquaman just the guy who's bringing in all the one-liners? Not always. Like, sometimes
he has one scene.
He has one or two,
which
like,
was
really
clearly
good
a 5-minute scene. They cut to a 1 and a bit minute scene.
What, between you talking about him and Mia, right?
Yeah, because I thought she was his wife, because everyone's been going on, oh, she's Aquaman's wife. So I was like, oh, they're married already. And then they have this, like, it was the weakest source exposition scene I felt in the whole film, where it was like, right, so yeah, your mother like totally left you on the land, but you're one of us now, and you're our king, and yeah, you totally have our support. See you later, bye, see you in the sequel. Peace out. The
sequel, which is currently being shot now by Mr. James Wan, and will therefore be awesome.
But I felt like that was the kind of, I'm sure there were others that were worse, but that really did stand out, as she didn't really need to be in the film.
No, not really. But
like, I like that she's there.
Mind you, like she looks exactly like Mira from the comics. I was just like, well, that's impressive. Good for you for stepping right out of the source material. Nice job. And their relationship is exactly like that, like in the comics early on. So I'm looking forward to seeing that explored more down the line.
Yeah, I guess.
So that will be fun.
Atlantis just wasn't really explored at all. You sort of went to the chamber where the mother box was kept, and that was it.
But then I think that's because you want to keep that back for Aquaman, don't you? Really?
I guess so.
It's similar to the argument with Thor and stuff like that in the Avengers is, well, why don't we see Asgard and why don't we see him doing this stuff? And why don't we see
in
Jane
the Avengers, you've already seen it in Thor, so you don't need to see it again, and it's not set there.
But that's what people said.
Now people are silly.
I know. What else is great? Batman. He's great.
He's a lot lighter.
He's really good.
He's a lot more cheeky. Like,
this is kind of this is what you hire Ben Affleck for, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, not that he can't do like darkly serious and that sort of thing, because he can, but light, breezy.
Seeing him do this, I kind of wish he'd been made like Hal Jordan. I feel like that kind of feeds more into his, because he's not a brooding guy. Like, I understand he has his demons, and like he's gone to rehab and he's been having marital problems. I can understand that, but he doesn't come across as this guy with a lot of problems. He comes across as a really laid back bro. He kind of comes across a bit more like what they were doing with Aquaman as a person, and I feel like if you had him as Hal Jordan, I was just thinking, I was like, oh, he would make such a good older Hal Jordan.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they've like lightened him up, which I'm glad to see, because I didn't really like murdery killer Batman, because we didn't have a point of reference that he didn't kill. This is the main problem with the DC thing, is that they do something shocking like, oh, Superman kills someone, and oh, Batman kills someone, but they don't show us that they don't do that. Like, we never had a scene in BVS or anyone saying, oh, it's really strange, in the last 5 years, Batman started killing people. Yeah, like, oh, well, Robin disappeared and everyone thinks he got killed by someone. Like, I heard it was the Joker. Like, that's all you need. Or showing Dick Grayson or Jason Todd's grave.
Or Tim Drake, or whoever
next to his parents. Like, that's all you need to see. Like, you can even put a little Robin logo on there for the people who don't know their names.
Yeah. So most people know Dick Grayson. Like, Dick Grayson, most people know.
Most people probably would know, but just as a visual cue, you could have a little Robin on there or something. And that would have been like, oh, because the suit with the ha 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 thing, I feel like a lot of people didn't get what that was.
Oh, I think people did. Didn't they?
Apparently, there was like, people were like, it's a one visual reference that isn't picked up again. And usually in movies, if you do something 2 or 3 times, then they get it.
Oh, yeah.
Because, it's a quick shot. The text is not easy to read.
Oh, okay.
It's on a textured surface in a dark room.
Well, we're going to watch it again anyway, so we'll find out.
Yay. But, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it a lot more than BVS. Like, I will actually watch this again. Like, this is a Sunday afternoon. I just feel like watching something light and enjoyable.
Light and breezy. Hey, let's watch Justice League.
Enough fun stuff in it. It's not got the depth that Avengers had.
No, but then Avengers is also very breezy, light, fun.
It is, but there's depth.
Very well.
There's depth there. There is a lot of depth. Like, you've got the Thor-Loki dynamic. You've got the Natasha-Hawkeye dynamic. You've got, like, Thor and Iron Man. You've got Thor and Cap. Like, they're all developing all these dynamics.
Yeah,
You've got Coulson being killed and everyone dealing with it. Like, there's all these layers in there which are just not there. You have a few moments, like, you really liked the scene where they were digging up Superman's body.
Yeah, I just like the conversation.
And the Flash and Cyborg have probably what is close to the most normal conversation in the whole thing.
Yeah, it's really good.
Because they're like, oh, we're both
the accidents. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I guess you both kind of are. Because, like, Wonder Woman is like a demigod.
Yeah.
Batman is just screwed up and likes hitting people. Yeah. Aquaman is
is a king.
Is a king.
Is a king who's avoiding
a
king who's avoiding his responsibilities.
Which I didn't feel like that came across at all. If that's what they were going for, I didn't pick that up. Sorry.
Well, he's not quite king yet. Is I think the point. Anywho,
yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure if he's king or not king or prince or.
We'll find out.
I don't know. We'll find out. But isn't that a problem? I don't know who he is.
No.
I think I should know. Like Tony Stark runs Stark Industries. Obadiah is like his assistant person within the company, like his CEO. Like that's a dynamic I picked up in one movie. Like I feel like I should know whether he's king of Atlantis or not.
Good point. Well, we'll find out.
Because it is kind of a major component of his character.
Well,
whether he's king or not.
He's awesome.
He's fine. I prefer the animated version of him.
His bit with the lasso of truth.
Yeah, so he's sat on the lasso of truth and he has this big emotional outpouring. And then he like moves and he's sat on the lasso of truth and everyone smiles and he's like threatens the Flash that he's gonna feed him to his piranhas or something. I was like, that was awesome. That was legitimately. Thank you, Joss Whedon. That was a Joss Whedon scene, I would say.
Don't know.
But it was. I'm just trying to think. It's just there's so much. Just yeah. I mean, there's a random Russian family that we keep going back to that.
The human element people.
They were trying to desperately shoehorn in the human element, but it just didn't work. Because it was like, it felt that there was this one Russian family living near this place where Darkseid's minions came out.
You know what I found really funny about the whole thing? Is that when, at a certain point, the Flash and Superman decide to go save the people. And they said, well, actually, no, they send the Flash, and then Superman's like, yeah, no, he's
That's not enough people. We need to wait, and I'll go and help him.
Yeah.
Which is, I liked, because the Batman and Man of Steel, he wasn't doing that. He wasn't doing that. He wasn't at all doing that.
But yeah, so they go off, and then the Flash saves like this truck with his family we've been following for most of this action sequence and before then with the parademons and stuff. And then he turns and he's like, oh, well, that was good. God, that was exhausting. Oh, I hope Superman manages it. And then you see Superman carrying an entire apartment building.
I like that.
It was so good. So good.
Oh.
What else? Oh, I loved the bit. I really enjoyed the bit with the Amazons trying to fight Steppenwolf and stop him getting the mother box. I really enjoyed it.
I did like the whole the hot potato thing.
Oh yeah, that was so cool. It was so, great
that.
Seeing all of them again and doing all
and
that.
Getting them all fighting as one and together, and it kind of made me think like it was such a wasted opportunity to not have the Amazons at the Atlanteans coming to fight Steppenwolf.
And the Parademons.
Because you could have easily had that they are on an island near the sea, near Themyscira. And both of them are like, no, we're going to go kill those guys, right? Like, I know we're not supposed to leave the island, but they stole our mother box. Like, that can really screw stuff up.
Like, listen, God, shouldn't we go? But then they lose their... I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Well, they didn't lose their powers because Diana didn't.
Yeah, I know, but it's...
How can they be protectors of the world if they don't leave their island?
That is kind of the... Well, that's the Themysciran dichotomy. That's the thing that they have to grow and learn to do. That's the kind of thing you do in like Wonder Woman 3.
Okay, but I felt like it was a wasted opportunity that you have basically these two armies. One that we don't see, but presumably Atlantis has an army.
Yeah, no, they do because Aquaman mentions
and that would have been awesome.
Because Aquaman mentions how they were at war once.
Yeah, like I want to see that film. I want to see the thing where they're at war with each other.
Well, I think we will if they do the Flashpoint.
If. No, I mean go back 1,000 years ago when the Atlanteans 1,000 years ago were fighting the Amazons.
Speaking of flashbacks, Green Lantern. Green
Yeah, there were
Lanterns in
Green
flashbacks.
Lanterns. Yeah,
That was really cool.
and the ring flew off when he died.
And yep.
I was kind of hoping we were going to follow the ring, but I was like, that's all.
So, what else is good? What else is good about the movie?
Nathan Fillion's in it. I mentioned it in the Tunic.
Nathan Fillion.
He's in it.
He's in this like flashback scene. It's really weird.
Yeah, I kind of hope that they
gets
do like a
killed.
flashback movie, and he's like the king of something, like the king of Atlantis.
That would be nice.
I don't know, like the janitor of Atlantis.
The
or
janitor of
something.
Atlantis. I feel
He's in
is,
charge of the mother box room or something. I don't know.
One can only hope.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. What else is fun?
The Flash is hilarious.
The Flash is great. Like Ezra Miller's movie cannot come soon enough, and everyone has said so.
I think he is the breakout.
Indeed. Which is good, really.
He was fun. He was a lot of fun.
They're currently tuning up the old Flashpoint.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's too soon to do Flashpoint. They're rushing again. Like, I can see why, because they obviously want to reset some things. But I am just like, if you've just got everything sorted.
Well, I feel like they just want to do something really gonzo and bizarre that no superhero movie has done, which is the whole alternate reality thing.
I feel like if they'd got 5 good movies in their catalogue, fair enough. They have 1 good movie and 1 passable movie, and 3 controversial movies. So I feel like they haven't earned the Crazy Guardians movie yet. Stuff.
You've got to remember that there are some people out there who love all the movies. So, you know.
Well, everyone's got to love something, I suppose.
This is true. So what else? What else is fun? J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon is good, and he has about 2 or 3 scenes, and he's good.
He's fine. He didn't really do anything particularly spectacular.
No, but he turned on the bat signal.
I'm looking forward to seeing him again. Yeah, he flipped a switch. We like this. This is a switch
and he walked through the Gotham Police Department, and he did his whole Commissioner Gordon, and it was good. But I'm still holding
Jeremy Irons.
Oh yeah,
Jeremy Irons is just
Alfred
He's still a
great.
black. Like he's just trying to get everyone a date.
He's just it's so funny actually. Him and his date thing. Him and his date.
He just clearly wants Bruce and Diana to have a baby.
Yes,
oh my god, what would that even be? It'd be like a human demigod baby.
Yep. And there's there's a wonderful bit, which I can't claim to have noticed this particularly, but someone said in a review that we watched that there's a moment near the end when they're going through the Wayne Manor ruins, and Bruce has decided that he's going to turn it into the Hall of Justice, basically, and have the meeting table there and turn it into their headquarters. With room for, and Alfred I think says something like with room for 6, and then Batman says something like room for more, and then Alfred's sort of off to the side of this shot, but he's smiling.
When we see it again, we'll try. I'll look out for that moment.
Yeah. So Jeremy Irons is doing great work. Of course,
he always does.
He's Jeremy Irons.
I love the scene where the Flash sees the Batcave for the first time. That adorable.
Was great, and he's just dashing all around.
Fanboying out in the Batmobile, like.
And it felt so much like a bit from the Justice League animated series where Batman's just like, Barry,
calm down.
Yeah. And the bit where he sees the bat signal for the first time.
He's just lovely. I loved him as a character.
He's so great.
What I'm worried is that he's not, I think he's going to be great, but I feel like he's going to go through some horrible stuff and he's going to become a little bit more serious because once he faces Reverse Flash, he's not going to be
the same. No, but then he'll brighten up again. It'll be exactly like it is on the TV show.
Because Rosenbaum, they just never addressed it. They never addressed the whole going back in time to stop your mum being murdered thing.
No, never.
Because I don't think that was his character that I'm aware of anyway.
He wasn't Barry Allen. He was Wally West. So he had
was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just assumed he was Barry Allen. No one ever calls him that. They just call him the Flash.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I never picked that up.
For the most part.
So that's why he's ginger, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm right. We'll have to rewatch the Justice League to find out. That'll be a hardship. Or rather, we'll just watch the episode where they unmask. There you go.
I know what I want to see.
What's that?
I want to see the episode where Wonder Woman annoys an enchantress and gets turned into a pig, and you get Wonder Pig versus the abattoir, and Batman has to sing in a supernatural cabaret to get her unspelled.
Yeah, to appease the enchantress.
And I was talking to my friend earlier today. I was like, would you not just want to see live action Gal Gadot Wonder Pig taking down these abattoir workers that are like, there's something seriously wrong with this pig? and someone's like flying across the room, and she's got the bracelets. I just want to see
so
that.
you want that as Justice League 2, do you?
Yes,
Right.
with the Flash
Okay.
and like I don't know.
And Bawana Beast, who talks to animals.
Yeah, like I just
We love Bawana Beast.
I just want
Well, actually, I
do
don't-
something completely
no,
stupid.
No,
like,
it's fine. If we wanted something completely different and funny, we need Booster Gold.
no.
The greatest hero you've never heard of.
No one wants that Booster Gold movie to actually happen.
Do they?
That is literally the worst idea. I want the Flash movie first, the Batman movie first, the Cyborg movie first, the Aquaman movie first.
Oh.
The Question, I'd quite happily
The
see
Question.
Huntress in Question. I'd quite happily see that. Green Arrow, Black Canary. I mean, the TV shows have completely screwed that pooch, but
Oh, I don't know.
Suicide Squad, with an actual film rather than a 2.5 hour trailer.
We might get that this time. You never know.
We might.
So yeah, what else is good? The action sequences are good.
They're fun.
They're really good fun actually. I particularly, like I said, I really liked
Some of the slow-mo scenes were fun. They're not particularly. They're nothing new. It's not the. It's not the. I can't remember his name.
Quicksilver.
I was going to say something silver. It's not the Quicksilver scene.
But it's still, the
It's
Flash
still
does some
fun.
really good stuff. Like when he stops and he grabs the sword and sort of pokes
Yeah, but
it
I
back
saw
to-
that in the trailer.
Yeah, I know.
I saw it in the trailer.
It's still really cool to see.
It is cool to see, but I saw it first on my phone, so it's not as cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd rather have seen that for the first time in trailers,
Well, then
In the
don't
movie,
watch
sorry.
trailers. Simple choice.
or they could just make trailers that don't have massive
Or you can
spoilers
maybe
in.
just not watch trailers. Then you wouldn't
Yeah,
have
but I'm gonna watch trailers. Everyone watch trailers.
Okay.
Everyone.
Alright. I don't know. Fine.
You do. You lie. How many times have you watched a Star Wars trailer?
A lot.
Yeah, so you can't say anything.
I know, but it does probably won't spoil the movie. Anyway,
Such a hypocrite.
So just sleep. What else is cool? The final action sequences and stuff like that are really great, particularly when everyone goes to save Batman, and when Batman's just basically doing
That was adorable.
when Batman's doing his traditional Justice League thing, which is I'm going to go off, solve the problem, and probably die.
And
then
everyone's
like,
no, Bruce, you don't get to
you're
be
not."
a martyr.
Yeah,
We're not going to validate your martyr complex, all right?
yeah, and it's really good. And Superman, when he turns up and starts fighting Steppenwolf, that's great. In fact, all the bits with Superman in are great, and that's all. I had a terrible fear when Superman, because Superman and Lois go back to Smallville so that he can like convalesce and sort of remember who he is.
Find
basically.
his plaid shirts.
Find his denim and flannel, because that's vital, as everyone knows, for any Superman. And then I was very worried that they were going to cut away and you weren't going to see him meet his mum, but then you do, and it's lovely and amazing and wonderful. So there's that.
I thought the CGI was a little bit patchy.
You see, I didn't notice it, so I don't.
It's because the colour saturation is so high. It makes it look faker.
Oh, all right. I just didn't notice. I was just
I
like,
did. Like there were certain scenes where, particularly with the CGI upper lip, the famous CGI upper lip of Henry Cavill, who had a beard at the time of the reshoots.
yeah, like Midnight Shadow or something. Not quite a beard.
No. It was a full mustache and like a midnight shadow all the way around here.
Was
Around
it?
his face, yeah. Mutton chop, sort of midnight.
Oh,
really
nice.
thick shadow that he was donning for Mission Impossible 6.
That's right. Yeah.
And contractually, he was not allowed to shave it off. Because obviously, I imagine probably getting a beard to match up is quite hard with continuity. So they had to CGI off. And it really does. I noticed it quite a few times. It took me out. And I was like, oh, this is a reshoot.
Oh, shame. Anyway, Superman's great.
It's
More of what I said in our
he's
spoiler-free.
fine.
He's great.
He's fine. I think
It's
I need
the closest. It's the closest to like full-on Superman that this universe has ever.
Okay, how does it compare to Reeve?
Well, like I said, it's close.
Oh, I have to disagree.
What I mean is, it's closer. It's closer to him
It's
than
closer.
not, isn't it?
It's not close.
Well, I don't mean
It's
like.
fine.
I
It's
don't
closer
mean-
than Brandon Ralph. I'll give you that. It's closer than Smallville. Because that whole show would end if you actually talk to each other like real human beings. But it's
But it's still really good. It's still a really, it's the strongest
It's
interpretation.
fine.
It's the strongest interpretation they've had yet, and I feel like he can only get better from this. And
yeah, like
it'll do
I now want to see a Superman film.
Yeah.
Like if they had done Man of Steel 2, I'd have been like, nah, I'm good. But now I'm like, no, do you know what? I'd quite happily watch him
Yeah, just do it.
saving cats.
Just
and
just do
trees.
like Superman Brainiac next, and everyone will be happy.
Yeah.
Like I'd be over the moon. Do that at once.
Yeah.
Like at once. And then at the end, have Brainiac survive and have him meet Lex Luthor and then join his little team. Okay? Okay. And then Justice
But
League
then
2.
he could take over Lex's body.
Well, yeah.
And then Lex could be ripped apart and replaced by a tentacle monster.
That's right.
Like in Justice League. And then Jesse Eisenberg couldn't play him anymore.
True.
And then you could say that his father faked his death.
And Bryan
Cranston could come back!
Or John Glover could step in the room. Either would do.
Anyone else.
Yeah.
I would literally take anyone else.
Michael Rosenbaum.
That would be good. It will never happen.
Never happen. Yeah, so that's all. That's the good stuff. The bad stuff.
We've peppered it with bad stuff.
We kind of peppered it with bad stuff. I mean, you know,
we're never going to cover everything that's bad in a DC film.
Probably not.
Lots of continuity errors, but that's because of how many edits it's been through.
That's because of the edits,
which is fair enough. Like, yeah.
And they don't like break anything. You are just.
I think the more I watch it, the more I will notice it.
But yeah, you know, just put it out of your mind.
Yeah, but continuity errors take me out of stuff.
Okay, fine. What else? I don't know really. I mean, is that about it for spoilers and stuff? Like, I can't think of like.
I think there weren't really that many spoilers. No. Superman came back. Lex is at the end. We're sorry.
But he seems to have calmed down, so that's good.
Someone gave him a Xanax. Like,
I think so.
Take this, Jesse.
You'll feel better.
Just put horse tranquilizer.
Yeah.
He's unconscious. Quick, start rolling. Someone move his jaw. Is he alright? Yeah, no, he's fine. He's still mirror under his nose. He's still breathing. We're fine.
We're all good. So yeah, basically, course correction good. Justice League good. Lex Luthor back.
I really wish that they hadn't brought him back just for that scene. I really do.
Well, someone's got to kickstart this whole Legion of Doom.
Do you know what I would have liked?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
So the whole thing with the fake out with him at Arkham Asylum, that's fine.
Good.
You have Deathstroke, isn't it?
It is.
You have him getting onto the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a bald figure in a low chair with his back to him.
Uh-huh.
And then he walks towards him and is like, I hear you want to start a League of Doom or something like that. And then you just cut. And you don't know who's in the chair. And it's not Jesse Eisenberg. It's anyone but Jesse Eisenberg.
Right.
Like Sooty. It could be Sooty.
Nah,
in a bald cap.
I don't think Sooty would work in a bald cap.
What's that, Sooty? You want me to destroy Superman? Well, if that's what you say.
Did you ever watch the City episode where they had Sweep be Superdog?
No!
That was great.
I want to see that crossed over with the Wonder Pig, and I want to see that as Justice League 2.
No, I think it should be Justice League 3.
Justice League 3, you've got to build up to the Wonder Dog, you're right.
You have
to introduce Sweep.
That's true. And Krypto,
he needs to have his own spin-off movie series.
I guess so.
Anyway, I think we've officially run out of things to say now.
Yeah, so Justice League, it's good. You know,
it's
don't
fine.
worry about it. It's fine.
I disagree with you. I'd good. It's fine. We might do after seeing the second viewing. I don't know. I think we probably said everything. I'm not sure though.
Well, I mean, we could just. Well, I mean, the thing you do after the second viewing is just go, and it's the same as it ever was. Bye. Like that's
like a 10-second video. Yeah. That would be quite funny. That'd be our shortest video ever.
Yeah, we'll do
this one's long. I told you.
Yeah, you did tell me. We'll do it on Saturday because that's how we're going to go see it.
I don't know when we're going to go see it. At some point in the next couple of days.
That'd be nice. Right. So.